To begin creating my three-dimensional spheres, I'm first going to create a second layer. So up next to the word brush, I have the word layers. I'm going to press the plus sign so that a layer 2 appears and I'm working on layer 2. Then I'm going to go back over to my brush and I'm going to pick a color somewhere on this rainbow that I'm going to use for my first sphere. So I kind of like this color blue right here. And I have to be careful because whatever color is under the rainbow is the color that I draw with. So I actually have to move this little circle around until I see a color show up in here that I really like. So I really like this color and I'm going to use that. Then I'm going to change my size to 200. And to put my sphere down, or right now it'll be a circle, I'm going to just make sure that I put it near the top, because the one we're making first is going to be farthest away, so it should be closer to the top. And then I'm just going to click once. Now right now this looks really two-dimensional, it looks flat. So in order to give it some form, some shape to it, I'm going to have to make sure that I'm adding tints or lighter parts of the same color up here. So I'm going to change my color. I'm going to add more white to it by moving it over this way and creating a lighter color. You can see that my color became lighter down here. And I'm going to change the size to 150, or at least close to 150. We don't have to be exact. That's close enough. And then go down to the cotton ball. And then once I have my color that's a little bit lighter, my size 150, and my cotton ball, then I'm going to go up here to the top left corner and click around a few times to make a lighter portion on my sphere. So right now it's already starting to look like it's getting a little bit of shape. At this point, I'm going to change my color entirely to white so that I can make a reflection. And the only other thing I'm going to change is make my size down to about 25 or somewhere around 25. And then right up here in the top left corner, I'm just going to make a small reflection by making a curved line. This line should go along the outside of the circle, so it should sort of curve the same way as my circle. And again, that starts to look already like it's much more three-dimensional. So we have our hue, our original color. We added white, so we created tints. So by adding white, I'm saying that, but we're really moving it along this scale, so it's having more white in there. And now we need shades right here on the opposite side. So I'm going to right-click on here to match the color, because I need to find my original hue. So I could either right-click, or if you don't have a right-click with whatever you're using, you can just click on the eyedropper and click around the outside here. And then it should bring up the color you are using. And all I'm going to do is make it a little bit darker, like that. And then I'm going to change the opacity. Opacity is how see-through it is. So what I'm going to do is move it down to about 25. And that's just going to make the tool that I'm using a little bit more see-through. So if I do this, you can still see what's underneath it. And I'm just going to go across from this reflection, and then I'm going to make almost a smile shape. So directly across from my reflection, and then I'm going to go across here and create almost a little smile shape like that. So it's almost like it was if it were on a diagonal. And it should be the darkest as it gets closest to the edge. Now at this point, it's looking much more three-dimensional. But it's missing something important. It's missing a shadow. So I'm going to go to my layers, and this time I'm going to put the shadow behind it. So I'm going to go to layer 1, and then go back to my brush and change the color to a shadow color, which is gray. So I'm going to move this across, make sort of a dark gray. And then the only other thing I have to do is change my size to 100. Again, don't worry about being perfect. It doesn't need to be exactly 100, just somewhere around there. Now you see I have a plus sign here, and I'm going to put the middle of the plus sign up against the bottom of that circle. And when I do my shadow, I'm going to keep in mind that my reflection is up here. So that means my light source is coming from up here on the top left, coming down, and my shadow is actually going to go this way a little bit more. So I'm going to go this way just a little bit, and then pull it this way more. Okay, and that is our first step. Next time we're going to add more spheres, and we're going to see a little bit of overlapping. Now when you're done, don't forget to save it. You're going to go up to this top blue arrow that's pointing to a blue line. And once you do that, you're ready for the next step.